right, welcome everyone to the Madison Silver versus the Triangle Silver Samurais over here. Today we are set up for an exciting match between these two teams. The Marvel's first actual game for the Silver. This round will actually count for some points in the bracket, and we will see how both teams perform for their opening game. Just a introduction to some of the other kids here. We got to start off with Goofy Gamer. 10, his main role being the damage and frontline there. Really versatile either way. Likes to be up there and in the battle for sure. And then we got Lunar Eclipse as the support main and sometimes being that frontline as well. Really there, really there to support the team and make sure they are able to get a victory. We got Ripper being the support and damage. Again, the support role is super important, although not very flashy in their plays, are able to help the team immensely in keeping the team alive and making sure the pressure goes forth. And then we got Master 007 Master Chief, the frontline and damage main. We got Dominate with the support and frontline as well. And then we got Ghost finally with damage and frontline. And as we get going here, waiting for the other team to join. They just had a short delay in their previous game. We'll get right on and going. This time we'll be doing a different mode than the ones before. It'll be in assault mode instead of just the control map. So we'll get a little bit more into that once we start up the game here, but a little bit different strategies involved with the different game modes, and we'll take a look into that as well. For now, I will be right back once we get the other team in the game. All right, everyone, welcome back. We are right about to start this first match. I will give it over to Bennett right here to explain this new game mode.
All right, so we're going to be playing on assault maps this week, where rather than control, where we've seen a symmetrical map, both teams have the same objective. In assault, one team is designated as the attack, while the other team is tasked to defend. The attacking team will have to clear the defending off of a point and then stand on that point in order to gain capture percentage. Once they capture the first point, they'll move on to the second. So the teams will alternate between attacking and defense, and whichever team can capture more of the points will win. If both teams manage to capture both points, we will go into an extra round where the additional time that is the team saved after capturing 2 points will be credited towards them in another set of attacking and defending rounds. A little bit more sense if we end up in that eventuality. We are going to be on Hamura. It looks like it's going to be Madison first up here on the attack with the Triangle Tsunami, Triangle Tsunami was last week, are going to be defense. Looks like they're going to be bringing out this Bastion, which can be a really strong thing to play on defense. How Madison respond here.
Yeah, and as both teams get in here, right at this choke point here, what will the Marvels be able to do to get past this thing?
Oh, the Reinhardt which comes through. Reinhardt taking a lot of damage though, and now sort of isolated away from his team. It's going to be difficult for him, but the Hammer does manage to find 2 eliminations. The Reaper's coming in now as well. That Shotgun Hero does so much, and just the Genji left for the Triangle Samurai. They've already taken 1/3 of this point. That's permanent right there. Each third of the point that gets captured will be saved permanently, even if the team does later get cleared off. But now, looks like all they have to do is eliminate this Genji, and they will, and now the point will be easily finished. That's a really nice first from Madison Marvels.
Yeah, that initial push by the front line there, by Dominate, getting in there, breaking up those frontline shields and causing chaos in the back line.
Yeah, and huge credit to 007 Master Chief with that massive Reinhardt play. Coming out again here, finds the Baptiste. Trade though, 2 for 2 eliminations so far, and Madison, it looks like they're just going to wait here. Genji positioned a little bit far forward, but Triangle's Reinhardt is in Madison, finds there. Madison's Reinhardt looking for this piece, but the Reinhardt charge from the Triangle Samurai is able to find him, and now Madison. The Genji is on the point though, and it looks like Triangle Samurai, they haven't noticed. That's 1 full tick of capture percentage. They need to get back here. It's the Mercy trying to get back, but the Mercy is a support hero, going to have a really difficult time combating that, and meanwhile, Triangle Samurai, they've got themselves a little bit too far forward here. The blade from Genji, that should take here. The fight is so far forward. Madison Marvels have successfully distracted the Triangle Samurai, and that's going to be the first round.
Yeah, that was a very sneaky play by the Genji. Ghost coming back and taking advantage of the Samurai being distracted while he just went back there and captured the point with ease. The only thing he had to really contest was the support Mercy, which has no chance against the Genji.
Yeah, Mercy is a hero who is not going to fare well in a 1 versus 1 situation. She's more suited to helping her team, healing them up, and boosting their damage. But without it there to protect her, she's a very vulnerable target with only health. And Genji is a skilled assassin, able to deal with that health pool with relative ease. But now, the roles are... Now it's going to be Madison who are going to have to defend the point. We're going to see now how the Triangle Samurai are aim to break through Madison's defense. They're working with the Bastion again, as well as that Orisa Reinhardt combination for their... It's interesting to see that attack. Those double shields can be really effective on defense, but on attack, when you are the ones who are forced to push up, it's going to be much more difficult to move those shields because they're so slow, and that Bastion is completely immobile as well. So it's an interesting strategy. We'll see how it works out for them. Meanwhile, Madison, it looks like they're looking for close range engagements with these heroes. Reaper and Genji both do really well in those close quarters, but the Reinhardt's going to go in straight with the charge. Orisa almost falls to it immediately. She will go down right at the spawn doors as well. The Genji's just up hurling shurikens into there. Such an agile character, able to reach places that no one else really can, and the Bastion doesn't even know where he is. Going to be eliminated finally by that Sigma Rock, but not before he finds the Lucio.
Yeah, once
But now the
again.
Genji, what a sneak here.
Yeah, once again, Genji, Ghost, up here. I still don't think they've managed to find him up here on this light pole. Just using...
Yeah, now he's behind them. The immortality field comes out. He's going to be able to focus it down, destroy this death prevention. He's going to be trapped by the Junkrat. So unfortunate, but the deflect is able to onto the Bastion. One of the abilities deflects all incoming. Going to have the ultimate blade ability, which is going to be chopped through them, gets a lot of damage onto them, and the eliminations will be quickly cleaned up as well. Really nice there from, I believe it's Ghost. Yes, it's Ghost who's going to be playing that Genji at the moment, finding so much there. And the Rock yet again from Sigma. The resurrection from the Mercy, though, comes onto the Bastion, going to prevent that elimination being quite so permanent. But the Reaper and the Sigma are getting permanent eliminations. Bastion protected behind the Orisa shield for long, as the Genji's going to do a great job getting behind there. And Madison, this is really good for them. The time up for the Triangle Samurai, and they've made it nowhere near the Madison. They're contesting them in these streets, doing a really effective job sneaking them and confused as to what they are. And then the damage comes piling on from every... But now some of the ultimates to be coming online for the Triple Samurai fairly soon here. Tank that amplification matrix, shatter. Those three ultimates, all very close, but Madison, they have an Earth Shatter of their own. It's going to be protected, though, the shield from the Orisa, and it's not going to work out for them. The Bastion finds 2 eliminations and then goes into the contention tank, but will be eliminated. Lucio, unfortunately, is not able to find value. And Samurai, they're all dangerously low, and it looks like there could be a real chance here. Madison's Lucio to clean things up. But Ripper, he will back up here. Going in there, looking for that Reinhardt. It's 1v1 to take if you're loose, but it looks like the Reinhardt is so determined to get to the backline. He's willing to sustain a lot of damage to do so. He will be eliminated for his hubris. Now, it's just a battle of shields. Those shields really coming up there. Mercy finds a resurrect. Really nice job on those from the Triangle Samurai. That Mercy has been able to find so many, but it's the Death Blossom.
That Death Blossom eliminating 4 people all in a row. That short range area of effectability is able to take out multiple enemies all at the same time, just as we saw there. That was a beautiful execution of that ultimate right there.
Yeah, and then Reaper finds a 5th teleporting onto the high. A really effective hero at that close range. It's just going to be getting right up in the Orisa's face as the Resurrect is killed, as Madison's able to find that elimination. Now Madison, they have the ult Triangle. They're getting staggered here very badly, getting eliminated as their respawns come through, so they're never able to build up their whole team. Overwatch, it's such a team game, you need your whole team in order to do anything. And Madison, they're just denying the Samurai the ability to have a team at any point. Now, with the time dwindling, the fight is so far forward that nobody from Triangle Samurai is going to be able to touch the point.
Yeah, Madison did a really good job there of not letting them get past that first area. The first area there with the 2 doors has a good choke point, and as we can see, the play of the game, Genji, Ghost, using his ultimate ability to get in the back line there.
Yeah, that Dragon Blade really does do so much, and then able to chase down the Junkrat as well here. Junkrat just trying to find healing and not able to do so. A really nice map from the Madison to get a 1-0 lead in this series.
Yes, and with the conclusion of this first round, we will be right back after we do some more switching up of some players, and we'll be back with game number 2. All right, and here we are back on the second map. Once again, doing that assault game mode. See what we can see if the samurai are able to change up their strategy to counter what Madison has brought to the table today.
Yeah, they're going to have a difficult time holding off Madison if Madison are able to come up with that same strength in that Genji Reaper duo on those damage heroes. They were able to do so much on Amura. Now let's see what they can do here on the moon, Horizon Lunar Colony. It's an interesting map. You either love it or hate it. A lot of people really don't like it for one reason or another, but as a map, it offers a lot of really interesting features, a lot of open space, which Genji and Reaper are not the most suited to, so we'll see. I mean, they seem to be switching up their strategy a little bit. Looks like they're with that Echo, which is a much longer ranged hero than Genji, going to be able to get value, greater range, which that's good adaptation to the circumstances that this map is to them. You know, it looks like the Triangle Samurai, they're just bunkering down here. Those double shields, that Bastion, they're just going to be trying to protect the turret. But the first element is going to be that Reaper actually gets in the there. They haven't realized he's there. He will be chased away, but not before he finds 2 eliminations. And the Sigma getting right back in there as well. Madison just gone for so many flanks here. Bastion can't deal with it all at once. Both Reinhardts charge each other at once, though. Bastion is going to be able to take the stun, but it's Reaper again getting it, finding 2 more, and this cleaning up the third. That first point here, the Triangle Samurai just being held away from it. And that's a really nice push here from the Marbles.
Yeah, and we see a slight change from the Samurai going for that Hanzo, but it doesn't look to be doing too much. They got to change up their strategy to counter this Reaper as he's getting too close to them, and that amount of damage coming from the Reaper is just too much for them to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. The Reaper just deals so much damage. The Sigma as well, just bouncing around the Bastion, not even able to fast enough. The Ryan finish off the elimination onto Madison Sigma, but now caught out of position away from the team. The Reaper will be able to clean up yet again. The Death Blossom is out, and that's going to be able to secure a lot of space on this second point correctly. Echo flying around is looking to hit those sticky bombs. Just flying through here. Madison, they're taking complete this point, and the Reaper just so incredibly much. The Baptiste, though, the Immortality Field will delay the Reaper for a moment. And actually, the couple of eliminations that are coming out here, is it be enough? The Triangle, they do have a bit of an advantage in their respawns here, but Madison, they still have a couple left, and that might be enough to hold them onto the point here. The Blossom comes out, it's going to find the Bastion. It's going to keep everyone else hiding in spawn, and that's going to be the clinch because it's going to be so difficult for them even to touch the point. They won't manage to do so. And that is, once again, a really fast time for me.
Yeah, Madison taking full advantage of that Reaper damage. Getting in there into the back line, making sure to eliminate the valuable targets first so that the tanks in the front line don't have anything to support them, and they eventually fall to them as well. Doing a great job there.
And what do you think the Triangle Samurai can do against this Reaper? What do you think their strategy needs to be here?
They have to get something that's able to instantly disable that Reaper once he gets into the back line. Reaper, while he does a lot of damage, is easily able to be eliminated if he gets stunned or slept. So maybe a McCree or an Anna support, and able to get some of those that hard counter type of stuff getting in here. But it doesn't look like they are going to change up that much for this round either.
Yeah, it looks like very comfortable on the strategy that they've been running, but the Reaper is appearing to be such an counter to that strategy that I wonder if it's going to work out for them. Reaper is so devastatingly powerful at close range, and with no skills really available to disable that, it's going to be very difficult to eliminate the Reaper. You're putting a lot of pressure onto the Bastion to track him perfectly, find enough damage, or the Arithma or the Soldier, but any of those things, it really relies a lot on the performance of one player. But the Reaper is now behind them. They have no idea he's here. This is devastating for this first fight. Just watches them walk past, but the lights come up behind. Reaper takes a lot of damage there. Able to dodge the charge though, and now Reinhardt is trapped. Madison spring the trap so effectively. The Mercy trying to come up to heal will be eliminated herself. And those 2 eliminations should send the triangle samurai running, but instead they're trying to set up this immortality field comes up to try to keep alive, but Madison are behind them. Arthur's going to work for them. The sticky come out, and they're falling so low. The triangle samurai, they try to keep themselves alive here, but Bastion can't see and if Bastion can't see it, he can't deal damage, and then Bastion help, but it's the Reinhardt who will actually be able to find a couple of eliminations here, but not before the triangle samurai, lose their Bastion.
Yeah, and
now they'll have to regroup.
That Bastion being a critical part of this team composition here. If that Bastion goes down, the damage that they're able to output is significantly reduced.
Absolutely. And now Madison, they're just back onto the point. They can win. The triangle samurai, they do need to push up into this one, and the Echo tries to get in Reaper's face a little bit here, but will not be able to while they're there. Now the tele is in Reaper. Not sure where exactly he's going to be behind here, looking to drop on the Bastion. Doesn't have the ultimate, but could be enough regardless. The Orisa down low here, but now teleports at the Bastion again. Reaper, a really nice job here to just absolutely that Bastion, and is able the tanks very quickly as well, not expecting that flank from behind. Reaper's teleportability can be by surprise if you're not careful. It appears to be exactly what happened to the Triangle Samurai.
Yeah, and you can see the effectiveness of eliminating that backline first and going from the back to the front in eliminations. As soon as that Bastion went down, the tanks have nothing behind them, and they're easily able to be overrun by the rest of the Madison Marvel team.
But now Echo uses Duplicate Ultimate, going to clone a hero on the enemy team and quickly build an ultimate ability. We're going to see the Amplification Matrix from the... And now combine that with the Death Blossom is a completely brutal move. Madison able to clean that one up so quickly. Amplification Matrix multiplies all of the damage that comes through it, and combining that with the already intense damage of the Death Blossom, absolutely no way anything can manage to survive that. Now Madison's Echoes harass the backline just a little bit more. A hero that's going to be so good at doing that, but won't find nations just yet. Finds a lot of damage though, looking to make the triangle lives just a little bit harder. But the fight's going forward. Echo now behind the, they're not really noticing it. The pin is going to come to the Reinhardt triangle samurai. They're not going to have any health. Will be devastated here, but the tank comes out for them. The tank going to be enough. That cannon one going to need a little bit more, but won't be able to do so. The turret now looking for them, but they're going to be behind it already. Now though, trying to find an angle, but Reaper is right there, and this could be dangerous for this Bastion. The Reaper's just able to dodge the fire at close range and return fire of his own. Now it's the Orisa who's going to be duplicated by the Madison Marvel's Echo.
There's an entirely separate fight going on back here, but by this Echo delaying the support that the Triangle Samurai are able to give to their front
and
line.
with only seconds left, that delay, exactly what they needed. Is anyone going to touch the point? I don't think so. And this backline harassment has paid off so well for Madison, and they are going to be able to win this map as well.
Yeah, a really good showing here. And as we get into the play of the game, actually by that Bastion from the Triangle Samurai, let's see what happened here.
Yeah, and that turret, was having a lot of trouble finding the sight lines that he needed to find, but once he was able to find the sight lines, it was absolutely brutal. Just going to gun down 3 there, finding those eliminations. But Reaper, you're going to see on the cards, gets 64% of that kill participation. It is a really nice piece of work from Madison to enable that Reaper so effectively.
Yeah, and with that, we have the Madison Marvel Silver team winning their first game today. Congratulations to them. And in just a few minutes, I will pull over one of the kids for an interview, see what they think about how they performed in the game. We will be right back. All right. Welcome back here. I have Ghost here with me, the Reaper and Genji of these past few games. First question I'd like to ask you is, what was your opinion about the games? How do you guys think you did today?
I feel like we did good, but the one thing that we should work on is communication and yeah.
Yeah, communication, a key point in Overwatch, able to coordinate strategies on the fly so that everyone is on the same page. And as Reaper, you had a lot of good plays. What do you think your best play of the game was today?
Um, the one when I did the Death Blossom behind Arissa and Best Bite and
Yep, that was in the first match, right? And
no, that was the second.
the second match, yes. And getting behind there, behind those shields, able to do all that damage to them super fast, getting 4 eliminations, was that?
With Genji or Reaper?
With Reaper, with the Death Blossom.
Oh yeah, I believe that was 4.
Those 4 eliminations, all right after another. And I believe that is the end of our interview here. Thank you very much for talking with us today. You guys did a good job today. And everyone can stay tuned for the gold team. Will be starting up shortly at around 4 o'clock, so in 8 minutes. Until then, we'll go on a short break. Alrighty, welcome back. About to start the next game for the Madison Marvels Gold team. I know I introduced everyone last week, but it was a little bit rushed, so I'd like to do it again. First off, Poison Apple, being the damage and frontline main. Likes to get up in there. Really aggressive player right there. Never afraid to take a fight. And we got Dreamer, the frontline and support. Got Luigi, the frontline support as well. But in opposite, he's mainly a support. Frontline sometimes. Likes to play that Mercy for sure. And we got 007 Climber with the damage and frontline. Again, likes to get up in there, doing a lot of damage to the enemy team. And then we got XP Liam, the support and damage. And then finally we have Frost with the frontline and damage roll mains. And as we get going here, we'll be playing against the Monterey Kraken. Let's see how they fare against our Madison Marvel team. Last week, not a fantastic result for them, but this week coming back stronger than ever. Let's see how they perform against this new gold team. And as we get the rest of the players ready, we'll take a short break and be back with the game. Alright, and here we are back with the game starting up here. The gold team for the Marvels and the Kraken. Once again, back on Hanamura, the first map of the round. And I will bring it back to Bennett in case anyone missed the description of this game mode from before.
Alright, so we're going to be playing on an assault map, which means that there will be an attacking team and a defending team. The attacking team is to clear the defending team off of a capture point and then land on that point in order to capture. The defending team's goal is to prevent that from happening. After round, the two teams will switch sides, and whichever team can make more progress on the 2 points that they're going to have to capture will be the winners of the map. And you'll see in the top middle of your screen, you'll be able to see all details about the progress. You'll see which point is currently being captured, point A or point B. You'll see how much percentage has been accrued on that point. You'll also see and it's going to be Madison here who are going to be on attack first. You're going to have Madison in the red and the Krakens in the blue here. And Madison, they're going to be sticking together here, letting their tanks protect them in the front. Reinhardt's shield going to be so important to play behind it, can absorb so much damage here. Exactly what it's going to do as they're flanking into this side room here, going to be out. looking to get some damage with those hooks. The hook unfortunately will not find anything, and they're just going to retreat back into that room, keeping themselves safe and healed up. The Mercy falling dangerously low there. But he will stay alive. Really good work from that Mercy to avoid elimination, but it's the Doomfist. Their backline could be really dangerous supports, but just going to ignore for the moment and going to pay off for them as they're going to be able to take some space out of the point. That Reaper, though, really getting into their back. The Mercy gets the resurrection onto the Widowmaker, but the Doomfist now is just wreaking havoc. Doomfist, a close range character that can really do a lot of damage in the hands of a skilled player, and that's exactly what it's going to do. Madison, they're sent back to... Actually, that Widowmaker caught out there while trying to get some sort of cheeky headshot there, was not able to do so, and now they're just going to regroup, going to have another chance at this point. The ultimates are going to start to come on, maybe in the middle of this fight here. Really give them an advantage, give them a chance. But now, Roadhog alone trying to get in there, needs some support from the team, going to take a little bit of damage. It's the Reinhardt shield that'll just bury them in, this time trying the left side. Right side didn't work, so try the left, it makes sense. The whole team's going to get grouped up there, except one going to be isolated alone. That Widowmaker gets caught out by the Brigitte. That's going to be so unfortunate, because now they're one of those damage heroes going to a limited ability to deal damage to the enemy team. That Roadhog will be able to do some, though, and it's the Doomfist gets in there yet again. The meat strike comes out, and if they group up too much, it could be devastating for them. They're all falling low now, and the support's having a hard time keeping everyone alive. The Reinhardt goes down, and they're going to be chased out. Mercy maybe looking for the resurrection, is able to find it, and actually won't be eliminated just yet, but the hammer comes, will get the stun, but now Madison's hammer comes down as well. That Reinhardt trying so hard, but will finally be eliminated. The final blow actually going to the Kraken's Mercy there. Now things are looking dire for Madison. They used a couple of their ultimates, and they haven't really found anything for it. It's going to be difficult for them to come back from that disadvantage, because now the Krakens, they have almost 4 ultimates on their side compared to Madison's almost 2. Gonna get themselves healed up though. But now the amplification matrix could be perfect situation if they can avoid the Doom though. And that will be the issue, as Doomfist finds Death Blossom finds 2 more, and that's set back to spawn once again. They're really only going to have 1 more chance at this one, and they used the whole hog. Unfortunately, was not able to find anything. That Roadhog ultimate just not positioned correctly. The amplification matrix here could be massive, but it's all going to be up to that Baptiste for Madison. They need to place it in a perfect spot, and they need to take full advantage of the power that it offers to find that damage. The Sombra's going to go in, trying to avoid getting revealed. Will take a little bit of damage, unfortunately. That invisibility goes away for Sombra as soon as she takes damage, and she will be eliminated again by that Doomfist. Immortality Field comes out to try to keep them alive, but that too will be quickly eliminated. And the Gravitic Lux, it looks like. That's the Meteor Strike, I'm sorry. Either way, Madison, they're finding themselves pushed back so far. So many ultimates are still remaining for the Krakens, and it looks like this is going to be a full hold on the first to start things off. And a really nice job from the Krakens to make a very nice defensive hold.
Yeah, we see a different approach from the Madison Marvels with that interesting choice with that Widowmaker, a long-range sniper character. Hard to get in a good position, it seemed, to get in those good headshots that they really need for that character.
Yeah, Widowmaker, difficult character to play against a coordinated team, and the Kraken were doing a great job not exposing themselves in any significant. And now Madison are going to defend the point, and this map will end in draw if Madison are able to do the same 4-minute hold that the Krakens were able to perform. If the Krakens are able to take 33% of this first, however, it will end in a victory for them. So it's an uphill battle for Madison. It is not easy to hold this point. The spawn point is so much farther away for the defense than it is for the offense. And so the offense have a really huge advantage in that it takes so much longer for defenders to respawn effectively than it does for them. Just a couple eliminations, and you can definitely take this point. So Madison, They're going to need to play perfectly for the next few minutes in order to keep the Krakens out of this point.
For sure, and we can see if that Widowmaker is able to do anything here. She's a lot better when she is able to set up her position beforehand and get a good advantage point.
Absolutely, and taking that high ground, looking for an opening pick. He is able to get some good damage out here, but doesn't find an elimination, unfortunately. It's the Doomfist as well, and that Doomfist, just a couple of elims from him could be more than enough for the Krakens here. The Reinhardt charge comes in, going to find Madison's Reinhardt, and keeps swinging. Finds Ana as well, and the Resurrection comes out on Keeper. Was overcommitted slightly earlier, and now it's just the Reinhardt alone on point, and this could be it. Madison cleaned up here, and that's going to be this first map.
Yes, and since the Madison Marvels weren't able to get a single point on there, they were the Samurai or the Kraken were able to get that point right away with just the 30%, 33%.
That's right. And it was that Doomfist that really was able to open things up here, or rather keep the defense holding here. That Death Blossom as well was massive. As you can see, the whole Hog ultimate was used by Madison to try to push Reaper away, but it just wasn't enough. And the first map is going to go to the Krakens.
Yeah, and with that first match, we will be right back after a few player transitions. Right now. Alright, welcome back here at the second map for this round on the Lunar Colony. I will hand it over to Bennett to explain this interesting map here.
All right, and this is going to be the same rule set as the Hadamura map that we just saw. It's going to be assault, one capture followed by the second. And hopefully, in this case, we might get to see a little bit more of that second point action and of that capturing. It's going to be Madison again. We're going to be starting an attack this map a little bit wider with more open sight lines, going to give a lot more of a chance for that Widowmaker that Madison were trying on Hanamura to be successful here. And this map has a lot of different strategies available, though, and it looks like Madison, they're going to have that Wrecking Ball. Could be really difficult to play against that Brig, against that Reaper. There's so much on the side of the Krakens that could really counter that Wrecking Ball, trying to get into the backline and harass the supports, harass the damage characters, make sure they can't do their jobs as effectively. That's the goal of the Wrecking Ball, and it's going to be very difficult this scenario, but they're going to be getting in here. And the Wrecking Ball just trying some shield damage at this point, poking at that Sigma. But this the Doomfist already getting into Madison's back and going to find the Widowmaker really, but will be slept by the Ana. Really nice shot in order to stun that Doomfist can ability. And now it's the Wrecking to gun that Doomfist down, so low on health, but will be healed up by the Mercy. And the Doomfist alive. Meanwhile, though, Madison, they're flanking behind here. But the charge comes in, going to be countered by a charge of Madison's own, but they will be taken down there. That Doomfist and Reinhardt both just getting there to brawl and are able to do so incredibly much. And the Doomfist just going right back in. Those abilities charge so fast and just punches the soldier into a wall for that elimination. And you can see when most of the ultimates are barely at 40%, that Doomfist Krakens already has their ultimate completely charged up. A really nice performance so far from them. But now, against the whole team, how much are they going to be able to do? They use that ultimate Meteor Strike out of danger for the moment, and then comes right down onto the Ana, looking for more, finds the Baptiste, and then trying to use that Rocket Punch to scurry back to safety, gets the healing. And now with that damage boost just right back into Madison, they have no way to counter. It's like they need something soon, or that Doomfist is just going to keep tearing them up. Reinhardt falling low here to that brutal damage. You can see the Doomfist almost charged up on that ultimate already. Didn't even know that he had used it if you've been watching the footage. And now the Wrecking Ball as well falling low, gonna have to eat. And listen, they just don't have an answer right now to this really brutal Doomfist play that's coming out from the Krakens here, but that Reinhardt could be the answer. Find both supports as well as the Doomfist, and Hammer will find a fourth. Now the tanks left, and the respawns are so far away for the Kraken. Madison, this is their chance at this point, a 2 versus 6 fight. It's going to be very difficult for those tanks to survive, and it's true the Reinhardt will fall in the Sigma as well in very short order. The mines just to secure things, but it is only a formality. This first will be captured by the Madison Marvels. There's going to be an attempt by Doomfist, but almost alone. Without the tanks to protect him, it's going to be so difficult for the Doomfist to find anything. And those mines really prevent any sort of ground to be taken as well. A couple of trades coming out. The Reaper will find some eliminations, but the first will be captured. And Madison, they're going to roll on to that point, and they'll find this elimination of the Brigitte very shortly, I would expect. But she's actually doing a surprisingly good job surviving and has taken down 2 so far. And she's just trapped in this back corner, anti-healing, no longer able to heal herself for abilities, and she will go down eventually here to that Ana. Not before Mei falls dangerously low, though, will be healed up by the Ana. And now it's going to start to be all about those ultimates. The Blizzard and Earth Shatter can be a really brutal combination in either way you order them for Madison. But the sheer number of units that are starting to come online, the Krakens, could be too much for them. Going to have to play this really well in order to get around that numbers disadvantage. But Soldier falling early is not what you want to see. The Mei goes down as well. They'll find the Reaper in exchange, but that's a 2-for-1 trade. That's not what you want to see. The Brig is just getting right in there and then uses the Rally for herself. That extra healing gives her that extra armor as well. She's getting right into Madison's backline. They'll find the Doomfist, but the Brig has been dangerous for them in the past. The Reinhardt, he is the hero with the bigger hammer and may be able to triumph here. Uses that shatter to get those supports. The Brig falling low here. That rally not going to protect her very much, but the Gravitic is perfect. The Sigma pulls everyone in the air, knocking them down, and then the shatter comes. Reinhardt, a really nice coordinated push from the Krakens are going to make that 3 as that Reinhardt gets an absolutely heat. The Doomfist finds another onto the Soldier, and Madison, they are all the way back to spawn. They had a chance for a moment there, but that was perfect coordination from the Krakens to send them right back.
Yeah, we see a small change in the lineup. We got that Diva out instead of the Reinhardt. Let's see if this new dive-oriented tank is able to get onto that point a little bit more effectively than that slow and flanky Reinhardt.
Oh, but the amplification matrix is perfect here. Amplifying all the damage that comes through it, and whole team is able to get an angle onto the entire enemy team. It's rare to see an amplification matrix placed well to get so much value. Now the mines are coming out onto point, and that's what you want to see. The Sigma's barrier destroyed almost instantly, and they're going to have a chance here, but the Doomfist is doing so much once again. Meteor Strike allowed the Doomfist to position wherever he wanted, and now they're going to be able to clean up, and it looks so good for them. But once again, the Krakens will have the answer. It's the tactical visor coming out from the Soldier, ultimate, preventing him from having to manually aim, but it won't be able to find anything. The Ana cleans up a couple of eliminations for them. They will respawn before Madison are able to rally their forces for a push. May look to freeze some players, but will be eliminated herself by that Reaper. And the Wrecking Ball trying to get onto the back line, but now will be aided by the nano-boosted Diva. The nano-boost going to make her take less damage and deal more. That could be a nice combination for a hero with that much health, but she will be eventually eliminated from her. Many of the Krakens are going to be anti-healed as well, but will fade eventually. Now the Doomfist looking to get punches. And the pin comes out on Madison's ball. This looks like another cleaned up fight. As more of Madison go down, they lose their tanks. And now they're going to have to back out. Only 30 seconds left. They've got one more shot, but they do a fair number of ultimates to make it with. Although, unfortunately, their DPS will be eliminated. But that's going to lose them even more valuable time. Now, they've got the self-destruct all ready for that Diva. A massive ultimate if it's not countered effectively. They're also close to those mines again, close to that amplification matrix. The bomb comes through. The Sigma will have the wall. All it will find is the Mercy. The ball is now going to be spinning, trying to get those mines ready to deploy. They are, and the ball will be able to send those out onto the point, making it so difficult for the enemy team to survive. Take their space onto the point here, but the Doom just does so incredibly much. Hammer as well to stun the Wrecking Ball. The Doomfist will be there to clean up. Resurrection comes out, and now all that's left is the Mei, but she will quickly fall. The Ana's going to try her best, but with so much power available to Krakens, it looks like they are going to be able to hold this second point.
Yeah, and a good showing once again by those Krakens. The Marvels unable to crack their defenses. And we'll see how this next round goes.
Notably, they did capture that first point, so if they can prevent the Krakens from capturing the first point, then the Marvels will take this map victory. Now, if the Krakens are able to capture the first point, but they're also held off on the second, that'll be a draw. And if the Krakens are able to get the first point and a third of the second point, then that would count as a victory for them. So it's going to be a couple of different possible outcomes. The Madison Marvels, they're going to want to do everything they can at this first point because they need that victory to top this series to bring themselves to that 3. Yeah. And they're coming out with the Bastion now, something we've seen before from Madison, and it can be incredibly effective, especially a map that is this open. It's very hard. It can be difficult here to look around and counter the Bastion. So with so many shields available to place in a protective manner, the Bastion's going to be able to do an awful lot. And Sombra as well can go invisible and sneak around watching what the enemy team is doing. That Sombra will be able to alert Madison to any possible flank attempts, and they'll be able to counter them very well. Looks like the Bastion's going to set down on the low ground with shields protecting him. And that's, I believe, a combination of like 1,000 health worth of shields. That's really, and that amount of shielding going to make it really, really hard for them to crack that bastion. And you can it's coming out already, doing a lot of damage to that Reinhardt. The Doomfist is coming onto the high ground, and Matt's definitely aware of it. They're worried about that Doomfist diving onto that. Doomfist will dive on Orisa, but will have to back off. It's going to be a trade. Bastion gets found by the Reaper, but the Reaper will be quickly eliminated by the Reinhardt for Madison. They're holding on to control for the moment. Reinhardt charges onto the point, but there are two of Madison's players there. It's going to be difficult for that Rein to survive. The Orisa just looking to beam it down. But now they find the Brig, and they're on the back foot here. Mercy is going to be necessary to keep them all healed. Reinhardt and Sombra fall, and now it's up to the Orisa left. The Orisa gets charged, but the charge will be canceled. Not sure how that happened, but it would be nice for Marissa to manage that. Trying to protect herself with the pull, but the Sigma and Reaper will be in to find that elimination. Now it's the Ashe for Madison, trying to deal some damage, but the McCree, perfect there to eliminate her. That flashbang stun, really effective, finds the Brigitte as well. It's going to be the first point going to the Krakens. Reinhardt tried to charge onto there to protect it, but unfortunately it was not to be. The fire comes out, but the Sombra will be revealed, unfortunately, and she'll be eliminated as well when that Sombra takes damage, even in the invisible state, or when she's in the invisible state, it will cancel that. So now the ultimates, they are getting really close for many of the Krakens, and the Gravitic Flux is going to come up, dealing damage to every hero, 50% of their maximum health. But the Hammer from Madison is there to deal some damage as well. But unfortunately, Madison got held off the point, and the Krakens were able to capture the point while the fight was still going. Madison, they just weren't able to touch.
Yeah, they did a good job there of distracting the marbles, making them so that they were unable to get onto that point. And as we see here, the Sigma with the play of the game.
That was a really excellent play. The Gravitic Flux to set up the Earth Shatter. The Gravitic Flux pulls you into the air. You hit the ground, take 50% of your maximum health as damage, and then you're stunned for a moment, which allowed the Reinhardt to get an Earth Shatter and stun them for even longer. It was a really nice combination of ultimates for them to hold off that push.
For sure, the Kraken did a very good job of coordinating those ultimates, as Bennett said, using them to their full effect, which Madison struggled with today. And with that last loss for the Marvels, the Krakens take the victory this week. And in just a moment, I will go get one of the Madison Marvel players for their take on this game. We'll be right back. right, we are back here. The Krakens agreed to do a friendly third match with us just for that extra amount of practice for both teams is a great way of improving their game, playing against a strong opponent like the Monterey Kraken. And as we get going here on the map Paris, and I will hand you guys off to Bennett to explain this map.
All right, once again, we find her on the assault map type where we're going to have to capture the first point, then capture the second point. We'll alternating once again between attack and defense. Map is very open. It can often lead to a steamroll where a team is able to quickly capture the first point and use the advantage where they have more charge on their ultimates and give them the ability to quickly capture the second point as well. Alternatively, this first point can also to really long defensive. It really all depends on what sort of strategies the teams decide to run. And like Madison, they're going for a long-range thing here. For Widowmaker, they're Ana, both sniper heroes. They're going to be able to find value at long range. But oh my goodness, this Doomfist is very sneaky. Behind Madison by hiding in this building. Nobody from Madison has checked. They don't know he's there. And he could just take out Fort so easily here. Notices them walking past, lets the team know, and goes in there for the rocket punch. Going to be dealing so much damage. Eva is there to protect Madison. Unfortunately, it won't be enough. That pinch from the back and from the front is going to be enough to take down here. And that is going to be a really nice way to initially hold that defense. That Doomfist flank was really effective for them, and they got one player eliminated. It looks like Sigma still going to spawn for the Krakens, but the rest of them able to deal a lot. Although the hack coming out onto the Doomfist could prevent the ability usage from coming out. Unfortunately, it will expire, and the Doomfist will escape. Reinhardt's getting there now, and they grouped up, but the Doomfist is still wreaking absolute havoc on the back end. Going to be anti-Ana, preventing any healing from going on to him. It's going to be enough to get the elimination finally. Now they have to contend with the Reaper. They're all trying to protect that Bastion. The Bastion just gunning for the tanks on the point, but will be charged by the Reinhardt, and that'll take him away. The Reinhardt, though, hacked in the back, and the Sombra is now going to be able to deal a lot of damage. Reinhardt, at about half health, gets attacked from both sides and hacked once again. No ability available once you're hacked, and that will be enough for Madison to eliminate. The Diva Bomb comes in as well, and it's huge. It finds 3. That's perfect for Madison. Now all they have to do is find the Doomfist, and this should be theirs. Doesn't matter how good you are in a 1 versus 4 situation, you're going to struggle. That just takes so much damage and will get hacked as well. Sombra doing so much here for the Marvels and almost has that EMP ultimate ready as well.
Yeah, and the Marvel is taking this point. Doesn't look like the Kraken will be able to make it here before they finish this. And moving on to the second objective inside of this large building. Much more cramped and not as open as the previous one. So we'll see how both teams adapt to this new environment here.
But now with the current set of ultimates, that's almost perfect for the Marvels. They have the amplification matrix, which can be used to absolutely control of a corridor. They have the EMP, which can be used to hack every player in a radius, which can be enough to just win a team fight on its own. And they have the hammer, which when you have less space to run, is going to be so much more effective. The EMP comes out as well. It's huge. It hacks 4. They won't be able to use any of their abilities to protect themselves, and they're all falling so low. The Nano Boost comes out as well onto the... They clearly want this one right now, but the hack expires, and the ultimate ability is used by that Sigma to be able to clean things up, it looks like. And now it's just the Reinhardt trying to keep the rest of the team alive, but the Doomfist again is just going to get into the backline. The Fire Strike gets the final elimination, and it was a very large gamble from Madison. Fortunately, it did not pay off.
Using all those ultimate abilities all at the same time, able to make powerful plays, but like Bennett said, very risky because like what happened here, if it doesn't end in a success, now they are far behind in ultimates with the Kraken having 3, almost 4 ultimates back up online, which will be a hard fight for the Marvels coming up here.
Right, I mean, they'll have their tank, they'll have self-destruct, but those... I mean, the self-destruct was able to find a lot of value on the first point, so maybe able to do so again. The bomb flies but it won't find anything. All the characters able to use their various abilities and shields to keep themselves safe. Ana doing a lot to find that sleep, but the hammer really great there. And now they're using everything they have. And the Kraken just threw everything into that fight. And they cleaned it up, but it might have been an overextension because now they'll find themselves, they're the ones with the advantage now that they've used 5 ultimates at one point or another during that fight. At least 4, and all they have left is the wrap. Meanwhile, Madison, they're coming close to the tank, and the tank, if they can find an opening pick onto the Sigma or Rhine, the tank could be so effective. But the rally comes out to provide the Krakens with extra as well as armor that goes beyond their original max health. Rally such a powerful ultimate for that reason, but the Bastion just himself a little bit overextended and will be caught out. The Baptiste will be as well. But Reinhardt for the Madison hiding and trying to catch some support unawares, but be able to do so. The resurrection comes out. Looks like this should just be clean. Now the Ana's able to find the Mercy. Nice anti-grenade there, but the Doomfist effective all season long. The Doomfist is going to be the one to push down from Madison. The Bastion is trying here, but with so many enemies right there, the tank though, and the healing from the team is so effective. The immortality field barely keeps him alive. Tank just goes right. Really nice work. Bastion now going into turret mode as well to try to get rid of some of those. The goes in, finds 2 from really nice. The shatter to stun as well, finds the enemy Reinhardt. They're cleaning up onto the brig, and now 4 eliminations. This is an entry ticket to the point. Are they able to take it though? The amplification matrix comes out to amplify that damage, amplify that healing through. The Ana does, but so does the Doomfist. Respawns though are starting to come out a little sooner for the Krakens. The eliminations though all in favor of Madison, and the bomb comes in yet again. It's done so much past, and it will do so much now. Finding the Mercy is so valuable at this moment, preventing the healing. The Reaper goes down and the Brigitte is in grave danger to fall as well. No healing available for Krakens, and now it's going to be really for them to contest this when the Meteor Strike comes down. It's going to fall right as the Gravitic Flux pulls them up, and this could be enough. The percentage-based damage is so overwhelming, and it looked impossible, but somehow it looks like the Krakens are going on to this point.
Yeah, the Madison Marvel is super close there to being able to contest that point, but unfortunately, that double ultimate by the Sigma and the Doomfist able to do so much damage that they aren't able to heal through that one and are eliminated one by one there.
Yeah, and now the Krat ultimate once again, though. The Tire could do a lot. Only finds the Mercy. It's going to be a last-ditch effort here for them to touch. The Baptiste is going to be running in there, but will be able to do so for overtime. But the Baptiste will not be able to survive, and the over will quickly burn down. Diva's going to have to stay alive for a long time, and it's possible. And it's going to be a nice defense from the Krakens. Nah, they're held only to the first point. And now let's see if they end even better.
0 to 1. Switching sides.
Yeah, but now just like before, switching sides, Madison now being that defending team, having to prevent them from getting that first point in order to win this round, which might prove difficult as they haven't been able to do so in the past, but we'll see what happens here.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, and now, listen, they're going to try this Bastion once again. It has been effective for them in the past. If they can set a nice position here on this point, that could be sufficient for them to make this really long hold. As well, the Moira and Zenyatta both are going to be a new thing coming out for their healers. Zenyatta able to put the Orb of on an enemy player. Discord going to amplify damage done to that player. In addition to the back, those two together can really melt even the highest health of. And you're also going to see the Doomfist coming out, seeing how effective the enemy Doomfist has been. It looks like the Marvels have decided to get in on that action themselves. But now they're setting up on this very traditional ground, trying to get the Bastion to stay behind the shield of the Reinhardt. He's like spamming damage. The Doomfist dives into the back and they try to find something. Find any eliminations, but the Diva will be able to finish up one. The Doomfist 1v1 though is won by the Kraken. The damage orb coming Fire trying to get a little bit of damage onto there will be able to do. Bastion is the one that's going to be the biggest thing here. Just beaming damage onto them and they're falling so low. Seconds should be eliminated any moment. Madison, they're not able to reach him and he will be slowly healed up his team. And the Bastion trying to position here, but the Doomfist is in. They're gonna need to answer. And unfortunately, the Reaper is able to sneak out there and give the Bastion the final blow. The Reaper's not done yet, though, going to find another on that Doomfist and looking for more here. That Death Blossom near ready, so won't be able to use that. But the regular shotgun will be enough here. And it looks like they're going to clean Madison off that first point.
Yeah, and with the spawn so far away from Madison, it looks like this first point is going to go to the Krakens. Now the point being that they have to defend the same inside point that they had to before in order to get this draw.
Right, and Madison, you see they switched off Doomfist, decided they weren't going to be able to use it quite as effectively. And they're going to be denied by that Mercy as the direction comes out to the effect of the elimination that Madison's Reinhardt found. Meanwhile, they're going forward here. They've got some ult ready, and the Meteor Strike comes out to give the Doomfist the ability to just damage at that point. Finds the Zenyatta, finds the Junkrat as well, and is now looking for more with those punches. It's going to happen. The hammer is not going to find enough. And the Krakens will be able to take this victory as well.
Yeah, and with that last friendly match, sure both teams learned a whole lot about the power of Doomfist, as has been apparent for this past couple of games here. And play of the game by the Marvels, the Junkrats.
Yeah, that Junkrat was able to do so much. The Riptire ultimate is an explosive that instantly eliminates so many 200 health heroes, and it looks like was able to find 2 here. So, really nice work from both teams, and a great final game on pair to close things out.
For sure. And as was planned before, I will be going to get one of the Madison Marvels to get their take on the game after this short break. right, and we are back here. I have XP Liam with me here to tell us how he thought this game went. So, Liam, how did you think that your team performed today?
Great.
Great? Yeah.
There were some parts where we didn't really stick together.
Mm-hmm.
And like when we made call-outs, some people didn't listen.
Okay, so yeah, communication, staying together, a super important part about playing the game of Overwatch. Those numbers advantage really come into play there when the communication breaks down and aren't able to get together as a team. But you guys still did well today. What was one thing that you guys thought you did really well today?
I think we really did well telling people like what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The
learning.
listening part was like not.
Yeah, so good shot calling, but just
Yeah.
not a lot of listening to the shot calling, which can be kind of difficult in the heat of battle when you're, especially when you're on the defensive, losing a little bit. But all those skills will come in time, and I think you guys will turn out to be a good team once you get all that sorted out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that will be the end of our stream today. Thank you, Liam, for thank you, XP Liam, for doing this short interview with us. You did a good job today, and see you next week. And this will be the end of the stream today. The Madison Marbles against the Samurai and the Kraken got one victory for the silver team and an unfortunate loss for the gold team. Either way, both teams performed very well today, and we will see you guys next week. Make sure to check out